What's up guys, Mike from Rockville, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use your CL16 in-wall and in-ceiling 16 gauge speaker wire. Now CL16 speaker wire is available in 3 different size options of 100 feet, 250 feet, and 500 feet, but you can always cut it down to the appropriate size you need. The 250 feet and 500 feet models come in a neat box for easier cutting to size, storage, and spooling. On top of that, each length is also available with 2 conductor wires or 4 conductor wires. The 4 conductor versions have 2 positive wires and 2 negative wires underneath the white PVC, which is perfect for running to speakers that are close to each other, like the front left and front right speakers in a home theater setup. 4 conductor wire is also perfect for bi-amp speakers that have a different input for the highs and the lows, as well as for alarm systems. Now this speaker wire functions exactly the same as standard 16 gauge speaker wire, but the CL2 rating means that it's passed the National Electrical Code test for a higher rating of fire resistance. So the wires will not burn due to a sudden surge of electricity up to 150 watts, and the cables themselves will not carry a flame, which is why we recommend them when you're installing speaker wire into the walls and ceilings of your home or commercial space, so you always know you're protected. So the first thing we want to consider when we're setting up our speaker wire is how much speaker wire we actually need to go from our receiver to our speakers. Now this all depends on how we're running the speaker wire in relationship to the speaker's placement and the receiver's placement. Now before you start running your wires, we recommend that you decide whether you want to use the 4 conductor speaker wire or the 2 conductor speaker wire, and as I said before, you can always use the 4 conductor speaker wire when you're running to speakers that are close together, like the front left and front right of a home theater system. So let's say we're running our speaker wire through the wall to wall mounted speakers or in-wall speakers. We also want to take into account what's in the wall and behind it. You can use a stud finder to find out where the studs are in your wall or see if there's any obstacles in your way that might block the wire's path. It's also good to know what's behind the wall before you start drilling. A general rule of thumb is to use 20% to 40% extra wire to account for impassable areas and obstacles that might block your wire's path. So for example, if the distance between your receiver's terminals and your speaker's terminals is about 10 feet, we recommend using 12 to 14 feet of extra speaker wire just to be safe. And remember, you can always put the extra slack into a service loop for future use and accessibility. Another thing we recommend is putting the holes at heights of the electric that's already in your room, for example, wall outlets and light switches. You should also consider getting a universal pass-through single gang plate cover to hide the entry points and exit points of the speaker wire. Now, if you're running your speaker wire through the ceilings, the same principles apply. You just want to make sure there's nothing in the ceiling that can block the path of the speaker wire. A quick note, if you're installing speaker wire through a drop ceiling, it's a little easier to do than in a traditional sheetrock ceiling, because in a drop ceiling you have more clearance, visibility, and accessibility. So we always recommend that you check with a professional if you want to run your speaker wire through a sheetrock ceiling. So after you've run your speaker wire through your wall and through your ceiling, and you have both of the other ends by your receiver or your speakers, it's time to strip the wire. Now to strip the wire, you can use an X-Acto knife, a box cutter, a pair of scissors. Just always remember to use gloves and strip away from your body, or you can use a traditional wire stripper. Now when you're using a wire stripper, it's really easy to strip the wires because you just match the gauge of the wire, which in this case is 16, with the number 16 on your wire stripper. Now remember, because this is CL2 rated wire, it has that outer layer of white PVC, which in order to strip, you can use the inside blade of your wire stripper or a pair of scissors. From there, you can use the number 16 to strip the rest of the wire. On 2 conductor wires, this is going to be your red and your black wire, and on the 4 conductor wires, this is going to be your red, black, green, and white wire. Now after we strip the wire, we can plug the raw ends into the speaker terminals and our receiver terminals. We're going to match the red wire to the positive terminals and the black wires into the negative terminals. And if you're using the 4 conductor speaker wire, we're also going to match the green wire to the open positive terminals and the white wires to the open negative terminals. And if you don't want to plug the raw wire directly into the speaker terminals or receiver terminals, you can always use banana connectors to go directly into your receiver or speakers if they allow. And then that's it. You're all set up with your speaker wire. So hopefully this video showed you how easy it is to use the CL16 speaker wire, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support tech team through phone or email. As always guys, I'm Mike from Rockville, and I'll see you in the next one.